3,125 years ago, the 11th century BCE, an epic battle of titanic proportions is playing out. Dagon, an ancient titan against the Muto Prime. Their blows shake the earth itself. While these kaiju are matched in fighting skill, Dagon just can't seem to land any good hits. Wait, this happened already. Overlord, go to Universe 280.
Of course, Mr. Goji.
Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, well, clearly, something must be different. Overlord, back to Universe 18,709, please.
Right away, sir.
Dagon is on the ground, the Muto Prime cackling above him. Dagon sees the ocean off in front of him, and he tries to run. He stands, but here's where it changes. The Muto Prime slams his fist down onto Dagon's spikes, shattering them and breaking his back. Dagon roars in pain, his back leaking radiation. The Prime roars, laughing at the fallen Ghidorah. It really thought it could get away? She lifts her arms for a crushing blow, and right as she swings them down, the Prime is blasted away. Dagon turns his head. Godzilla has made it. Godzilla runs, ramming into the Prime. She tries to land a punch, but Godzilla weaves and grabs her arm. He spins, throwing her far away. The Prime roars, breaking the ground apart to flee. Godzilla walks over to Dagon. He looks up, nodding his head at Godzilla. Godzilla lifts his foot and slams it onto Dagon's tail. Dagon screams. He looks over at Godzilla, expecting him to kill him or turn him into a subordinate. But Godzilla gives him a fate far worse. He looks at him with disgust. And you call yourself a Ghidorah? Godzilla signals to Dagon. Dagon is old, and he can't quite move like he did back in the Titan War. Godzilla lifts his foot and walks away. He doesn't care if Dagon lives or dies. Just stay out of his business. Dagon lies there on the ground in immense pain. The days go on as he gathers his energy. Eventually he knows he has to move, or else the Prime will come back. Dagon lifts himself, blood spilling out of his back. Luckily though, most of the injuries have turned into a scab. Dagon walks to the shore, his feet sinking into the sand. Refreshing, he thinks. He goes into the water and slowly starts to swim, the water turning red, his blood making it cloudy. He's tired, ashamed, and ready to die. Dagon swims aimlessly, just hoping something comes to end him. He doesn't want to show his face, his weakness. Though, unluckily for him, no kaiju at the time dared to attack a Ghidorah, especially after the war against Scar King. He's too weak to win, but too scary to fight. And as his luck has it, he swims into a lair, an empty pocket of air with some lava bubbling inside. This is home, he thinks. This is where I'll die. Thousands of years go by. His spikes regrow, but he stays hidden. He becomes skinny, sickly even. Only a few more months to go before he's dead. Though, like an annoying alarm in the morning, before he can go, he's called. It's Godzilla. Dagon sits, wondering if he should intervene. Godzilla did save him long ago. Maybe it's time to make it even. Dagon puffs his chest and dives into the water, eating schools of fish along the way to regain some mass. Soon after, leaping from the water, Dagon smiles, ready to show he's not a pushover. But when he looks up, it's too late. The Prime holding Godzilla by his neck, holding him for display for Dagon. Dagon's eyes widen. I'm on my way! He roars as he runs. Out of all titans, of course, I got you as help. Godzilla signals back. Dagon's shocked. He's about to die, but still says that? Dagon runs, closing the distance. But before he can prove himself, Dagon halts in utter shock. He falls to his knees, Godzilla's head rolling on the ground. The Prime laughs hysterically. Dagon shakes in shock on the ground. He was too slow, too starved, too weak. He charges his beam and fires. The Prime swings her arms up ready to block, just to lower them right after. Dagon, he's so drained. His beam is nothing more than normal fire. The Prime once more laughs. She sucks in the air around her, the wind changing directions as she gathers her energy, ready to send out a full power sonic roar. He knows it's time. Finally, I can rest. The roar just breaks from her mouth as a giant wall of trees blasts from the ground. Why won't they let me die? Dagon turns around, Amulek standing behind him. Amulek tells Dagon to leave. He'll deal with the Prime, but he can't go all out with him here. Dagon looks at him, empty. He stands, his head lowered, and he walks away, turning his back to the tree beast and the parasite kaiju duking it out. Dagon leaves in shame, trees blasting into the water as the air shakes from the Prime's roar. He swims, his mind spinning. He's the last one, the last of the Ghidorah specimen. He has to carry the torch. Despite being ready to die just a few hours ago, something snapped in Dagon. His mind flips. Anger and hatred fills his thoughts. He's ready to kill anyone, anything, indiscriminately. Anyone that acts out of line, he will kill. No second thoughts. He swims away. He's done with this. He's done with being weak. Dagon swims for days, and soon finds his first fight, the Kraken. This beast dare try to leave his domain and roam the open oceans? Not on Dagon's watch. He swims at him, the Kraken just barely noticing before he gets rammed into. The Kraken roars, Dagon roaring back. The Kraken sending his tentacles at Dagon. They wrap around his body. Dagon squirms, clamping his teeth onto one of the tentacles, ripping it off. The Kraken roars in pain, blood gushing out of the open wound. Dagon strikes again. He increases his density, sinking them down at incredible speeds. The Kraken roars, screaming for mercy. He can't withstand these depths. Dagon just stares as they sink lower and lower. The Kraken's body squishes, condensing. He roars one final time before imploding, guts and blood polluting the water. Dagon takes a deep breath through his gills, red blood bubbles coming out of his nose right after. Dagon huffs. He's always too late. He's always too weak. While Dagon rampages on, upset at the world for handing him too few cards to play, causing him to be so weak, little does he know, in the expansion of the multiverse, he is one of few that can say they survived their confrontation with the Muto Prime. Many others throughout the multiverse were stomped, beheaded, or cut to bits. But this Dagon, he's different, as he alone will set forth on on a path that will shape the multiverse and beyond, calling upon allies from beyond his own world and dimensionality. Will he form a team to take down an evil brewing that he's not even aware of, or will he send them all to their demise as he always has? Will Dagon die, or will he become one of the most powerful kaiju in the multiverse? Hello everyone, I'm your host Goji Guy, and today we ask the question, what if Dagon evolved?
Time. Space. Reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a seismic rift of endless possibilities, where a single roar can ripple out into infinite realities, spawning alternate worlds alongside the ones you know. I am the Overlord. I am your guide through these vast, chaotic realms. Follow me and ponder this question. What if?
Dagon swims through the waters, his eyes bloodshot. He regains his mass, surpassing Godzilla in size. Other kaiju try to calm him, sensing his anger. Mothra tries to talk him down, but he pushes her away. Amulet does the same, but is met with a beam to the chest. They leave him to his business. At least he's not on a rampage, they say to each other. Dagon, while seeming tough, is empty inside. He has a motive, but no one to prove himself to. His other relative, Godzilla, mocked him even in his death. Dagon drifts through the seas, helicopters following his movements from above. Monarch tracks him, knowing he's not fully there mentally. All he feels is empty. He has nothing. No family, no companions,
no dick,
no home. Home. Dagon's eyes light up. He quickly turns downward and finds a portal. There's one place he has left, a place where him and Godzilla used to camp at when they were younger. He spat out of the portal, the dark, cold ocean flowing around him. He swims. It should be here somewhere. And then he sees it, a slight pink glow. Dagon is ecstatic with joy. His old lair. But he stops. His senses telling him something's up. The lair. It never had a glow or light of any sort, really. The occasional lava flow, sure, but pink? Dagon charges his energy and ever so slowly creeps his way to the den. His dorsal's poking out of the air pocket. But before he can fully breach, he's constricted by Tiamat. She twists her body, wrapping around Dagon. Dagon's gills are getting squished, and he can't breathe. While Godzilla might be a more aggressive fighter, Dagon is more calculated. Through his anger that someone dare lays in his home, he thinks. Dagon turns around, swimming back out of the den, re-entering the tunnel that he swam through. Dagon is lightheaded, nearly unconscious, but he plows through the mental fog. He rams his dorsals against the cave ceiling. While normally he does it to sharpen them, this time, like a wombat, he uses it as a weapon. Tiamat doesn't even get the chance to roar before her body is cut by Dagon's spikes, her body splitting into a few pieces. Dagon rips her off his face, taking a deep breath once more. Tiamat's blood fills the water and stings Dagon's cuts as their blood mixes. He swims into his lair to sleep, gathering his energy once more. Though little to his knowledge, he's about to undergo a process that will alter his fate forever. Over the next few months, Dagon travels the Earth, more calm now. He waits for Titans to step out of line, trying to film the vacuum Godzilla left behind. He makes a few kaiju bow here and there, not killing but keeping them in check. The murderfish janitor in the Atlantic, Methuselah in France, and Behemoth in Japan. Though little did he know, he would soon see Behemoth again, but not for the reason he wanted. Dagon travels the world for a few months, being the Earth's new protector. That's when he gets the slightest sense. There's something going on in Korea. If he can sense it all the way over here in Argentina, then whatever is happening must be massive. Dagon needs to get there, and quickly. He charges his dorsals and fires a beam into the ocean floor. While Godzilla might be a better combatant, Dagon, being older, knows different strategies. He can sense the hollow Earth's vortex core, a pulsating power beneath his feet. His beam acts like a key, unlocking its power, and within seconds, a new portal opens, sucking Dagon and the water around him in. Within moments, he's shot into the air, crashing onto his back. His head rings. Not from the fall, but from... Oh God! Dagon looks over, and there, in the dead of night, Soul is engulfed in flames as... No, that can't be. His eyes must be playing a trick on him. No, it's really him! In front of Dagon, the two Godzilla killers duke it out. A new Muto Prime and Shinomura clash. Shinomura ripping through the Prime, and the Prime punching straight through Shinomura. Dagon looks down, smelling the stench of decay. Lying on the ground, the crushed remains of Behemoth. They're fighting over a dead meal. Dagon thinks he needs to kill them both. Regardless of who wins, a tragedy will follow. If Shinomura wins, he'll grow in size to block the sky. If the Prime wins, she can lay her eggs. Dagon, Shinomura, and the Prime, all the last of their kind. He needs to kill them, right here, right now. Neither of the other Titans yet know he's there, both being too focused on killing each other. Dagon quickly hiding behind a large skyscraper, thinking of a plan. He's fought against the Mutos before, but never a Shinamura. He has no clue how to attack the thing, but that's when he thinks back. Him and Godzilla hundreds of millions of years ago. Every piece. You need to destroy every piece. That's when it clicks. He knows what he can do. Dagon rushes in, like a train plowing through Shinamura and ramming straight into the Prime. Both Titans caught off guard. Dagon scratches the Prime, ripping her flesh, but he hits them with a punch straight to the gut, sending him flying back. Dagon, while in the air, looks behind him, Shinamura forming his body into a spear. Dagon doesn't even have time to think. His body just naturally blasts out a beam, moving his position midair. Shinamura's attack landing in his hand, stabbing through it. Dagon roars in pain, but then swings his arm downward. Shinamura being stuck on him, getting slammed into the ground. Shinamura roars as he transforms his body, ahead now looking at Dagon. He lunges his own flesh at him, his flesh covering his face. Using his senses, he stomps his foot into the Prime, her roar disrupting Shinamura. Dagon being able to peel it off of him. All according to his plan, he thinks. Shinamura is affected by the roar. If only he can use it as his own. Dagon, with this knowledge, puts a plan into motion. He fights the kaiju for a few minutes, weaving their attacks and landing some of his own. He needs to wait just a little longer. He needs to find the thread, the perfect moment. There's the opening. Dagon's body pumps with adrenaline, the world moving slowly. He can almost sense the waves of time, his opponent slowing down in front of his eyes. The Prime charging a roar as Shinamura's lunging at Dagon. With a swift, almost graceful movement, at least as graceful as a 300-foot, 100,000-ton lizard can move, Dagon sidesteps, twists, spins, and grabs onto the Prime's neck. He aims her head up, in the trajectory of Shinamura's lunge. The other kaiju only able to move their eyes, but aren't able to react in time. Dagon grabs the Prime's ovipositors, and then stabs them into himself, and then charges his radiation to the max in beams. The ovipositors carrying Dagon's energy, turning the Prime's normal roar into a nuclear wave, disintegrating Shinamura all at once, while Dagon's beam cuts through the Prime's skull, and within a single attack, both Titans fall. Just like that, Dagon single-handedly ended 2 wars that have been going on for over 250 million years, both kaiju blowing to ash. Dagon collapses, catching his breath, as ash falls down like a light coat of snow, the ash sticking to his body, some single strands of DNA entering his blood. Dagon has done it. He's ended the war. At least the one he knows of. Dagon swims away, being drawn to an iceberg, just for some little shit starfish to come out and begins to swim towards Dagon. But Dagon simply grabs it and calmly swims away as he bites into it. He's hungry after all. He enters this cave, sensing its power. Though, little does he know, he's about to change beyond what any Godzilla has ever gone through. Like any other time, Dagon balls up, ice covering his body, and he dozes off to bed.
This is a Code 1. I repeat, Code 1.
Monarch is in shambles. Every piece of equipment is frying, and the ones that haven't are going haywire beyond repair. Something is happening to Dagon. Something unlike anything ever seen before.
What are the readings?
The readings, they are unmatched to anything we have as a set unit.
Damn it, the entire Arctic Ocean has been vaporized. The ground itself is a heat mirage. Boot up Project Baragon. We can at least try to cool the area with it.
Right away.
Monarch fires modules from the satellites high in space. The rockets barely surviving re-entry. The air around them climbing over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The Baragon super drones land, blasting ice. Islands of snow are pouring out every minute. But it's not enough, melting the moment it makes contact with the ground. The drones go into overdrive. Other companies sending support, Apex, Shao Industries, Scarred, and more are on their way with their own weather drones. Together, they're able to reverse the temperature by roughly 1 degree every 4 minutes. This goes on for hours, drones melting away from the heat. But then, the ice starts to pile out of nowhere. The heat, it's gone. The ocean floods back in, as the drones fly away and are replaced by the battle ones. The ice drones haven't made an ice mountain taller than the Rockies, yet despite its size, it glows. The light blue overtaken by a darker green, pulsating, thinking even. The ice cracks down the center, steam shooting out so violently and so fast. The Earth itself is set off by a few inches in space. Once the steam stops, a gargling is heard through the drones. Something's down there. Monarch isn't even aware it's a Titan, much less Dagon of all of them. The ice melts away as Titanis Dagon stands tall. A thick tail, new spikes, fins, and more. He looks at himself, almost admiring his physique, but confused. Dagon has forever been a heavy sleeper, so he didn't even know what was happening. But from all of his fights, his body somehow kept his foe's DNA intact. Saying he evolved is an understatement. No, he was reborn. DNA from not just one, but an army of kaiju. The Kraken, Godzilla, 2 primes, Shinamura, Tiamat, Abzu. Along with the energy found in the iceberg, he has ascended past the title of Titan. He is a god amongst the rest. Dagon scratches his side, stretches and swims off, unbothered. His ego stays the same, just a patrolling officer. Though now his job is easy. Wherever he swims, wherever he walks, Titans flee hours beforehand. The humans going into emergency bunkers, fearing his power and radiation might reach them, despite being hundreds of miles away. He's almost lonely. Literally no one dares to get close to him, though he doesn't mind. He is happy living a loner lifestyle, as long as no one acts out of hand. Shinzo Mifune, a mad scientist. He hates Dagon's power, his stride. He's tired of living in fear from him. Even his boss, Alan Jonah, wrapped up his work in fear of Dagon. We're the hyenas, damn it! He yells at the board. We are the frontier of kaiju containment and research. And you want to throw it away because that damn lizard got taller? Mifune rages on. The rest of the board doesn't want to hear it. They listen to who's in command, that being Jonah. Very well then. Mifune draws his weapon, aiming it at Jonah. You resign now. Jonah immediately giving in. Now, you all report to me. We're going to the Arctic, now. The Hydra leaders not wanting to die, listen. Starting up their planes and they head to the Arctic. If anyone can take on Dagon, it's him. Mifune mumbles to himself. They land, wiping out the troops and setting up their explosives like in the world you know. With a swift and efficient team, Hydra blows up the ice. And using an early test version of the Orca, they provoke Ghidorah. Ghidorah, waking up, not knowing what has happened over the past 100,000 years. His cocky attitude takes over. As he hears the Orca's call, Ghidorah lets out his own alpha call. He climbs from his icy tomb, Hydra leaving in their jets. Mifune happy with his work. Ghidorah stands there, snow blowing in his eyes. He waits. Time passes, as he expects at least one kaiju to arrive, but none do. He does the call once more, but again, nothing. Something is wrong, Ghidorah thinks to himself. Little does Ghidorah know, all the kaiju heard the call, but they don't dare obey. As Ghidorah is about to lift off to explore the earth, he senses it. His eyes dilate in shock. What the hell is that? Every cell in Ghidorah's body screams for him to leave, but he's too scared to move. The ice far in front of him turns to steam in a matter of seconds. A green glow breaking through. Dagon breaks from the ice, cooling down his dorsal so he can at least stand on it. He looks at this kaiju. It's tall, eye to eye with him even, though he's never seen it before. He tries to remember any info Godzilla may have told him, but they stopped speaking far before Godzilla fought this thing. Alright then, Dagon thinks. He gets battle ready, charging his dorsals. Dagon puffs steam from his nose. Ghidorah still frozen in horror. Dagon begins to charge, but before he can even set his second foot down, Ghidorah screams, flapping his wings so hard they snap. You! Stay the hell away from me! Ghidorah screams as he flies. In seconds, Ghidorah is out of Earth's orbit. Dagon only having taken 2 steps. He looks up at the sky. He thinks of beaming, but Ghidorah is already gone. In a matter of minutes, he's out of the solar system, flying back to wherever he came from. Dagon huffs, more disappointed than anything. He leaves, going back to the ocean below. But little does he know, he is soon going to get a visitor no one could have ever predicted. Hello everybody and welcome to your break. Go refill your water and grab yourself another snack. I want to say a few things before we continue. Firstly, apologies this took so long to make. I know you all love the What If series and I haven't posted one for like, 4 months now, so my bad. The main issue is that these are expensive. Sure, I could just use footage, but that's lame. I want to give you all cool pieces of art, professional voice acting, 3D models and animations, music, and everything I can possibly do to make sure you're getting the best What If content here on YouTube. At least to my knowledge. I don't know if there's like some Star Wars What If creator or something. Anyway, and I want to be open with you all. Dad, if you're watching this, cover your ears. But each one of these what ifs runs me anywhere from $500 to $700. Some of them just barely making their money back, just by a few dollars. So while I could make more of them, they'd be poo-poo quality, at least in my eyes. So if you want to help support the series, then make sure you do all the YouTube things. Like the video and leave a comment, so it goes further in the algorithm. Subscribe so you can watch my other videos, which are usually what pay for the what ifs. Hype up the video with YouTube's new hype feature. And if you really want to give back, then consider joining the channel. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support me and my team make more videos like these in the future. I want to give a quick shout out to all my current channel members who will be on the screen right beside me, as I want to thank you all so much for your constant support. So with my yap and e-begging aside, I hope you all are enjoying it so far. So make sure to subscribe, stay hydrated, and let's get back to the story. Following Ghidorah into space. A few months pass in Earth time, but for Ghidorah, it was days, traveling through wormholes. But soon enough, he makes it. Planet X, a rough, cold planet with no sun. Ghidorah fumbles to the ground, but going forward as to not be confused, we will refer to our Ghidorah as Zero. Zero collapses to the ground, lightning coming out of his nose as he gasps. He frantically runs towards his king, but is slammed to the ground by some guards. Please, I need to speak to his majesty, Zero pleads. The taller, stronger Ghidorah guards bite him and start to drag him away.
What does the boy want?
A voice echoes from the cave. Your Highness, please!
Let him in.
The guards throw him to the ground.
You're the Ghidorah that was sent to Earth long ago, yes?
Yes, my lord.
Then tell me, why are you still so small?
Well, there was this ice dog along with another titan, Godzilla. They froze me and I got stuck.
What?
The cave goes quiet. Did I say something, sir?
Yes, you did in fact. That name. Say it again.
Godzilla? The king's eyes shrink in recognition.
How do you know that name?
He says as he lifts Zero into the air.
It's what the other kaiju call him, I swear.
Zero cries out. The king lets him down in shock.
Go on.
Well, that's the thing. There was Godzilla, but then I got frozen. I can't tell how long I was out, but it must have been for a long time. When I awoke, I called, but nothing. No response other than him.
Who?
The king asks. This thing. It was something like Godzilla, but its power, its strength, it's far beyond anything I've ever seen. The only thing that comes close is you, my lord. The king stares into the distance, eyes not fixed on anything, just thinking.
No, that can't be. They all died. I watched them die.
The The king leaves his cave, telling the guards to defend the planet while he's gone. The king lifts off, as the guards call out to the cosmos, letting every Ghidorah know that Sovereign Ghidorah has left Planet X. Time passes, Sovereign Ghidorah entering our solar system after a few short weeks. Even when passing by Jupiter, he can already sense Dagon's power, along with something behind him. It's been trailing him ever since he got into the Milky Way supercluster, but he has no time to worry. He needs to find out if Zero's telling him the truth, as he just can't believe it. He saw Godzilla die in front of him by that thing. Monarch signals all their satellites to go into battle mode, aiming at the incoming threat. They fire their laser cannons, but Sovereign Ghidorah just keeps flying, entering the atmosphere. He lands, looking at the ground. He told himself he would never come back, ever since he was randomly teleported to his new home world. He never thought he'd see the blue marble again, but here it is. Ghidorah sniffs the air. The smell of fresh rain and trees fills his nose. He almost sheds a tear, remembering his old life, but that's when he senses him. The ground shakes below him. Sovereign Ghidorah lifts up as the ground opens below him.
The hell?
He thinks to himself. Dagon shoots from the ground, having been ruling over Earth for many years now. He looks at Sovereign. While ready to fight, he doesn't sense any malice coming from him. He stands for a moment, Ghidorah clicking at Dagon. Dagon falls to the ground, his ears ringing in excruciating pain. While he may not have known what evolving would do to him, he's finding out now. Thanks to Shinamura's DNA, Dagon can now evolve on command to any threat. And the Shinamura DNA is not a slacker, quickly destroying and rebuilding his ears to understand what Ghidorah is saying. A built-in translator, if you will. Dagon screams as his inner head rearranges and grows. Ghidorah watching in disgust and shock. Dagon catches his breath. The ringing stops. He stands looking at Ghidorah, not knowing it was actually his own body that did that. Dagon roars and charges Ghidorah. Sovereign dodges, his massive wings lifting him into the air. Dagon not missing a beat, using his forward motion to fall face first downward, and blasts a beam out, launching him up and flipping his body in the air. Before Sovereign can react, Dagon's thick tail slaps him down to the ground, cracking the crust below him.
Stop it!
Sovereign yells, just be met with Dagon landing onto him. Dagon bites onto Sovereign's neck, not wanting to get his head ripped off. Sovereign amps his body with lightning, shocking Dagon and causing him to jolt back, ripping some flesh out in the process.
I said stop!
Sovereign screams as he beams Dagon's chest, Dagon getting pushed back, but stays standing. How are you talking to me?
I'm not sure, but you're alive. I saw you die.
Dagon looks at him confused. I don't know who you are or what you're talking about. Sovereign looks at him confused.
You don't remember? I woke up from my sleep. You or Godzilla was on a rampage. I don't know why, and in all honesty, you look nothing like him. But I got there, Dagon already dead, and me and Mothra were getting ready to fight him, and out of nowhere, a giant portal opened, and this thing, it looked like you a little bit. It walked out and smiled, lifting Godzilla and ripping him in two. Mothra tried to flee, but she was cut down, and right as he came for me, I just fell. Straight to the ground. I don't know how, but suddenly I was at a planet far away.
Dagon looks at him, painfully confused. This dragon's out of his mind, he thinks. Look, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Godzilla, my relative, he died long ago. By the Prime. Snapped his neck.
The Prime? What's that?
Dagon looks at him, even more confused.
Look, I don't want to fight. I just need to come look for myself. We will leave Earth alone going forward. Though, for your information, there is something coming. I'm not sure what it is. It followed me here, and should arrive in a few days. But given your power, you should win. Good luck.
Before Dagon can even say a thing, Sovereign lifts off and flies back into space. Dagon watches, confused as hell. His world suddenly being transformed into some intergalactic hotspot. Dagon leaves, scratching his head in confusion. Over the next few weeks, Dagon picks up on a weak signal in the Kuiper Belt. Something's on its way, but it's making its pit stops, checking out other planets. He hasn't had much time to think. Is he in charge? Is he supposed to rule or just let the other Titans do their own thing? Godzilla never told him what to do if he were to take over. He can't even talk to the other kaiju, as they just run away when he tries to talk to them. Dagon sits, from being weak and no one respecting him, to being so strong that everybody fears him. No matter what he does, he's alone, forever solitary. Oh, Caesar. If only you were here, he mutters to himself. Monarch sends a rover to Dagon. It starts to speak in English. Dagon's ears once more adapt into what it says. Hello, Titan 12. Dagon, as you refer to yourself. There's an unknown entity flying above your head, and it's about to enter our atmosphere. It seems to be drawn to you, and we too have noticed a power change in you recently. We have multiple satellites ready to send nukes your way to amp yourself if need be. Good luck. Dagon starts to shake the dirt off himself, looking up, seeing a red glow in the sky. He's just bored at this point. Nothing is a real challenge. That's when the rest of the sky turns red, sparkling almost. Dagon covers his eyes as they adapt to the brightness. A roar is heard. Dagon looks up and is then slammed to the ground by a meteor. Hundreds rain down upon him, the area being leveled in seconds. Dagon gets up, breaking his way through the rock, his nose being scratched in the process. And there, in the sky, floating down, a beast more alien than Ghidorah could ever be. Monarch is quick to name it. Titanis Mojin. Its energy readings are all messed up, similar to Dagon's new readings. Something within them is similar, but that's the odd part. The energy, it's not of this universe. Whatever it is, it doesn't belong here. Dagon tries to pick up on any possible features. Its movement, micro muscle adjustments, its breathing, the tiniest clicks. Dagon tries to transform himself, but he drops again. Something new. It feels wrong. The evolution. It's wrong, but right. Like something new has entered his DNA. We got it! A Monarch researcher screams as he runs into the control room. Whatever this thing is made of, and whenever it's entered Dagon, it's a new element. Not only that, but it's from a different universe. Dimensium. A corrupt version of crystalline energy. A mutated, poor imitation of what makes up everything throughout the multiverse. Moguzin seems to be a being made up almost entirely of it. It feeds on it. That's why it followed Ghidorah, but stayed for Dagon. When Dagon bit and swallowed Sovereign scales, Shinamura's DNA amplified it beyond its normal limit. Dagon's power, unmatched by anything the universe has to offer. His body now being a Dimensium farm. Moguzin tilts his head, Dagon trying to talk to him. He understands to an extent of what Dagon's trying to say, but he's more or less a mindless creature. No language to begin with. Dagon takes a step, Moguzin suddenly holding up his hands. Dagon stops. He's not sure what to do. Dagon, as a precaution, starts to build up energy, ready to evolve if need be. He takes another step, and then... Dagon, frozen in time, as Moguzin's hands blind him, an indescribable light emitting out of them. Nothing in the visible spectrum. New colors and shapes presented themselves to Dagon in a fraction of a second. All is a part of Moguzin's attack. Dagon falls, screaming a blood-curdling roar. Dagon's mind flickers, with memories that aren't his own. Godzilla's, countless of them, all dead, ripped, crushed, sliced, beamed, every possible death you can think. He rolls in agony, as Moguzin's attack puts him into a hypnotized state. Moguzin slowly walks towards him, watching his prey like a Komodo dragon. He's not evil per se, but he is by far the scariest kaiju in this universe. Moguzin doesn't fight hand-to-hand. His lights, they make his prey see their greatest fear. Dagon's in a vegetative state. These aren't his fears, but they paralyze him in shock. Moguzin staying on a tube, stabbing into Dagon's body as he begins to drain his blood from him, sucking the Dimensium from his body to feed himself. After this, he'll make his way to Ghidorah's world to feed on him next. He didn't ask for this. He was a byproduct of its creation. When it was trying to pull kaiju to his world, it happened to stumble into an ultraverse. And unlike the Godzilla kaiju that quickly gave in, Moguzin fought back adamantly. In a rage, it left Moguzin floating between universes. Moguzin floated for practically eternity, all until some giant metal legs rammed him and sent him here. Now he needs to gather Dimensium. All he wants is to go home, to sleep in his den once more. Dagon's body loses mass quickly, as gallons of blood are being drained by the second. Dagon is still locked in his own mind, like he's floating in a dark void. Memories that aren't his, billions of years of experience pouring in all at once. That's when a voice cuts through. This is how you'll die? Wake up! You're supposed to be the best of us. You're beyond what any member of the species has ever done. And this is how you'll go out? Being sucked to a pulp? Godzilla's voice in his head rings like a gong. Get up! Moguzin is suddenly lifted, a hand suddenly grabbing his throat. Dagon's body fighting back, grabbing Moguzin. Dagon's eyes are black, but his body refuses to lose. Dagon's brain adapts and he awakens. Moguzin is scared. He opens his hand, but Dagon's eyes grow flesh over them, preventing the light from entering. He throws Moguzin far, Dagon focusing, concentrating on Moguzin's body, finding his energy signal. If he can locate the hollow Earth's core, he can find Moguzin's. Where does he draw his power? Where can Dagon kill him painlessly and instantly? His right pec. Now, Dagon blasts a beam at Moguzin, but is blocked by Moguzin's own beam. His saw-like dorsal is glowing red as the beam is fired from his head. Moguzin is confused and charges. Please, let me end this. I don't want to hurt you. Dagon pleads as Moguzin rushes him. Dagon rolls out of the way, dodging Moguzin's charge. He fights like a child. This poor thing, Dagon thinks, but there's no other way. Dagon turns to look, but is punched to the ground from across the city. Moguzin is extending his arm all the way there. Dagon is then lifted up. Moguzin's claws stabbing into him, again draining blood. Enough! Dagon roars. As his body once more enters a flow state, the world slows down around him. I'm sorry, Dagon says. His tail whips across the city, slicing Moguzin's arm clean off. And as calm as he can be, Dagon walks to Moguzin and rams his hand through his chest. As time goes back to normal, Moguzin lets out a roar before he slumps over, his energy core pulsating a few more times in Dagon's hand. He gently lays down his foe. He was young, scared, and just wanted to go home. He didn't know what he was doing. Dagon's hate builds like it did long ago. It took Moguzin from his home. It killed all those other Godzillas. Dagon, despite not knowing what to do, takes a hand of Moguzin and using his evolution DNA, connects it to his own body, charging it up and flashing it at himself. He needs to pick up on every clue. After he goes through the horrors once more, Dagon understands. His world, it's one of many. He can finally use his strength, go all out even. He needs to kill it. He needs to bring it to justice. He needs to kill Godzilla. He's killed so many for the sake of killing, wiping universes clean, and consuming worlds. A complete disregard of life. With his anger and passion growing, Dagon looks up at the panels of the sky. He calls it the upper room, but what returning viewers know as a stratoscope. Dagon bends them as need be, focusing his energy. He sits for days, eyes closed. Monarch isn't sure what he's doing, but beneath his skin, he is evolving in a way no one sees coming. That's when he awakes. He sharply turns his head to a random patch of sky. Dagon breathes in, charging energy like never before. The fat burning from his body, as every cell charges for this blow. Dagon has evolved far beyond what's possible, taking his sensory abilities to their max. He can sense the pulse, the core of the multiverse itself. He blasts a beam, his body shattering the Earth's crust. A rip in space and time opens, with a long strand that leads to the core of the multiverse. Dagon can find new worlds to finally go all out, but he needs help. He needs to build a team throughout the multiverse. Dagon takes one last look at his Earth, knowing he may not ever see it again, but glad to leave nonetheless. He's always felt out of place and unwelcome here, and with that, he enters a new world. The sky roars with snow and ice. Godzilla and Gypsy Transcender stand. Riley and Ren fighting alongside the King of the Monsters. Gypsy shoots a beam from his chest, blasting against Kaiser, as Godzilla gets to his feet, but is too late. Kaiser roars as he launches a large chunk of flesh towards Godzilla, ready to stab through him. The pilots see what's about to happen, and try to stop it, but are ejected from Gypsy Transcender, and Gearus' mind taking over. And he runs over, ready to take the blow. Overlord, what is that?
It seems the timeline is being rewritten, sir. Shall I execute this world or keep it going?
Keep it going. I'm interested. Suddenly, space and time warp and rip. A tear in the sky as Dagon falls to the ground. Dagon's body blocking the attack, stabbing into him. Dagon's eyes shrink, the first time he's ever felt pain in his evolved state. Though, lucky for him, he recognizes the flesh. It's his own. Sorta. Monarch having planted Shinamura cells near the breach, and the precursors using it to build Kaiser off those very cells. Dagon sucks in Kaiser's attack, adding its mass to himself. Godzilla on the ground looks up, jaw on the floor in shock. Transcender sliding to a stop in shock as well. Dagon breathes out smoke. His dorsal's glowing. At that moment, Transcender's reactor goes haywire. These energy readings, they're beyond anything he's ever seen, even surpassing the rift itself. Dagon looks down at this world's Godzilla, a smile on his face. Go! Dagon roars. Godzilla quickly gets up, running back as the Gotengo blasts off. Gypsy's Transcender stands beside him, his shielding barely withstanding the heat of Dagon's presence. And Gearus, not questioning anything, looks at Dagon. What's the plan? Transcender asks. Dagon's ears once more having to translate and evolve. I got it. Dagon snaps back. He's not mad. Actually, quite the opposite. Finally, a Kaiju that threatens his power. Dagon runs, ramming through Kaiser. Kaiser's gloopy body falling to the ground, and Dagon, with a single pulse, disintegrates Kaiser to nothing. Well, clearly not that much of a challenge, Dagon laughs. Transcender looks at him in awe. He's huge, at least 140 meters tall. Dagon looks at Transcender, calling Godzilla over to tell him everything. Godzilla obliges, knowing he can't fight that thing. Some time passes. Dagon telling Transcender everything to tell Monarch. They had a theory the multiverse was real, and this is just further proof of it. Dagon then asks Transcender the hard question. I need you to come with me. I'm building a team and I need your help. Godzilla rises ready to come as well, but Dagon tells him no. While strong, he needs the right skill to take down Godzilla. Gypsy agrees to the task, and Gearus within ready to fight, as Riley and Ren re-enter the Jaeger and get ready for battle. Don't worry, Mako. I'm coming home. Riley says as he looks at the photo of them, though, with that being said, I do need your help to get the next kaiju. Godzilla and Gypsy look at each other and agree. Monarch shares their multiversal knowledge with other tech companies, and are quickly able to create an interdimensional walkie-talkie. As they set it up, Gypsy Transcender makes sure everything goes to plan. Luckily, this next one won't be too difficult, Dagon says as he opens a portal, and then the three walk through. And there, on Mount Fuji, Mechagodzilla and Mothra Leo stand. Behind them, they hear a sudden halt, as Dagon and Godzilla slide to a stop. Dagon looks at his evil self. Wow. Pathetic, he says, and with a single beam, he slices his evil counterpart in two. Godzilla, watching the shock, and runs off. Again, like the last world, Dagon explains everything to Mothra, and her not seeing any reason for Dagon to lie, follows. Mechagodzilla staying behind to watch over and track down Godzilla to restrain him. 3 left to go, Dagon says. Dagon then opens 2 portals, telling them he needs to deal with the next one alone, sending the 3 off to go get the bickering siblings that are Earth Ghidorah and evolved Godzilla. As they head off, Dagon takes a deep breath and heads into the second to last portal. Immediately, Dagon is blasted to the ground, a storm unlike anything ever seen in Earth's history. Giant chunks of rock, no, entire mountains flying into the sky. Dagon pulses, clearing the weather around him, and looking off into the distance, standing on his hind legs, Dagon sees the Hulk of his team. Titanis Zulu won't back down without a fight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I know the ending is a bit confusing, but I promise it'll all make sense in the future. I thought it'd be better to have one super lore, dense, focused one, so the next what ifs can be entirely combat focused, as I know that's what you guys like. After this, there'll be 2 more what ifs, and then a 2-part finale. So again, thank you to all my members. Thank you to everyone watching this live, and thank you to my amazing art team and the great work you guys always do. And thank you for watching. Share the video around if you liked it, and next up on What If, we asked the question, what if Godzilla attacked Skull Island? Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep collecting. Goji Guy out. See ya.